Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. Ismail Haniyeh, a leader of Hamas, arrived in Egypt for the first time in over a month yesterday. He met with Egyptian officials who are acting as key mediators to broker a truce between Hamas and Israel. Reports say serious negotiations are underway for a new ceasefire and the release of hostages. However, prospects for a deal remain uncertain. This is because Hamas insists it wants nothing less than a complete end to Israel's operation in Gaza. Meanwhile, Israel has resolved to wipe Hamas off the face of the earth. The United Nations Security Council's vote on boosting aid to Gaza was delayed again yesterday. This is the third consecutive delay. Diplomats say this was done at the behest of the US. The UN Security Council will attempt to vote again today. Israeli forces say they've uncovered a network of tunnels running deep beneath central Gaza City. The tunnels were allegedly found in properties registered to Yahya Sinwar and other senior Hamas officials. The forces say that the tunnels could be accessed by spiral staircases and an elevator going 20 meters below ground. They were equipped with electricity, plumbing, surveillance cameras, and heavy blast doors. Reports say that Israel struck Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp yesterday. The Palestinian Health Ministry said that the strike killed 13 people and wounded about 75 in the camp. Meanwhile, Palestinians reported intensifying aerial and tank bombardment of Jabalia as darkness descended. According to updated numbers, 20,000 Gazans have been killed so far and another 50,000 are injured. The leader of Yemen's Houthi rebel group has threatened to retaliate to any potential attacks by the US. The Houthis said that they would strike US warships if Washington targets them. A Houthi official said, and I quote, "We will make American battleships' interests and navigation a target for our missiles." This week, the US launched a multinational force to prevent attacks on the Red Sea. US President Joe Biden has said that he did not expect to see an Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal soon. He made the comments to reporters during his visit to the US state of Wisconsin. Biden said, and I quote, "There is no expectation at this point, but we are pushing." Earlier reports said that the heads of the American CIA and Israel's Mossad and Qatar's Prime Minister were expected to discuss the issue. In other top news, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that he sensed a shift in India's tone with Ottawa. That is since the US accused the Indian government of being involved in a plot to kill Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. However, Trudeau added that he did not want India-Canada relations to get ruined over the situation. Instead, he has expressed deep interest in better relations between the two nations. Trudeau said, and I quote, "We want to be advancing the Indo-Pacific strategy. Canada and the United States are seeking to build better ties with India to counter Chinese influence in the Indo-Pacific region." North Korean leader Kim Jong Un has threatened a nuclear attack. The state media reported Kim saying that Pyongyang will not hesitate to launch a nuclear attack if the enemy provokes it with nuclear weapons. Kim reportedly made the remark during a meeting with soldiers. On Monday, North Korea tested its newest intercontinental ballistic missile to gauge its readiness for war. Taiwan's three presidential candidates held their first televised pre-election policy address yesterday. Taiwan's independence and its relation with China emerged as the top agenda during the address. China claims Taiwan as its own territory, however, Taipei rejects Beijing's claims. In Russia, former TV journalist Yekaterina Duntsova put her name forward to stand in the presidential election in March. She submitted documents to officials at the Central Electoral Commission to formally enter the election. Incumbent President Vladimir Putin has already announced his candidature for the upcoming polls. Both his supporters and competitors expect Putin to win by a landslide. US Republican presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy has come in support of former President Donald Trump. This was after the U.S. state of Colorado barred Trump from its ballot over his alleged role in the 2021 U.S. Capitol riots. Ramaswamy has pledged to withdraw from the Colorado primary election in response to the ruling. The ruling by Colorado's top court will likely be taken up by the U.S. Supreme Court. Argentina's Libertarian President Javier Milei has signed an economic reform decree. He has unveiled a series of measures to deregulate the country's struggling economy. This includes the elimination or change of more than 300 rules, including on rent and labor practices. This has triggered widespread protests in the country. Thousands of people have taken to the streets of Buenos Aires to protest against the government's economic shock policies. The United States and Venezuela have carried out a prisoner swap deal. 10 American prisoners were released for Alex Saab, an ally of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. As part of the agreement, the U.S. government granted clemency to Saab. Saab was awaiting a trial on charges of money laundering in the U.S. In climate news, the U.S. East Coast grappled with swollen rivers, flooded roads and power outages following a storm. The U.S. state of Maine experienced significant power loss and washed out roads, leading to a state of civil emergency declared by the governor. Some areas had to be evacuated after a river rose far above flooding levels. The Santa Cruz region in South America's Bolivia faced severe flooding due to incessant rainfall. The city of Santa Cruz experienced up to 100 millimeters of rain. This led to flooded houses and suspended flights. The Bolivian government is sending aid to affected families amid the deluge. China's Shanghai is experiencing its coldest December in 4 decades. The temperature in the city today is forecasted to stay between -4 to -6 degrees Celsius. Shanghai's Weather Bureau stated that the temperature will remain below freezing until the 25th of December. Over 300 firefighters were deployed to battle a mountain wildfire near Cape Town in South Africa. Residents were evacuated while 5 firefighters were injured, with 2 hospitalized. 3 helicopters flew over the mountain to release water on the flames. Despite efforts, the fire persisted, fueled by strong coastal winds. Skopje, the capital city of North Macedonia in the Balkan region, is grappling with severe air pollution. It ranks among the world's most polluted cities. According to the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the reliance on coal for 40% of the country's energy exacerbates the situation. Lava flows from Iceland's recent volcanic eruption have now slowed down. But despite heavy snowfall, orange lava could still be seen in the distance. The eruption followed weeks of seismic activity. It culminated in lava and smoke being released 100 meters into the air on Monday. Brazil's lawmakers have approved a bill relaxing environmental licensing for building a highway through the Amazon forest. Scientists have warned that the proposed highway could lead to widespread deforestation. Researchers fear that this project might push the Amazon rainforest beyond a critical point. The new legislation also permits the use of conservation funds donated to Brazil to finance the highway project. The highway will connect the 2 states of Amazonas and Rondônia in Brazil. On to business and tech news. Some Wells Fargo employees in its Albuquerque, New Mexico branch voted to join a union. Meanwhile, employees at the bank's branch in Bethel, Alaska withdrew from the unionization effort, but with the vote in Albuquerque, Wells Fargo has become the first major U.S. lender to have a unionized workforce. U.S. lender Citigroup is reportedly closing its global distressed debt business. The business unit trades bonds and other securities of companies that are in or approaching bankruptcy. Citigroup has been undergoing a sweeping reorganization, including leadership changes and job cuts. This comes as part of CEO Jane Fraser's overhaul plan. Fraser aims to take more control of key businesses and simplify the bank's structure. Credit card balances are at record levels in the U.S. The cases of debt defaults are also on the rise. Amid this, the U.S. consumer space is seeing a new trend. More shoppers than ever are tapping buy now, pay later services this holiday season. Buy now, pay later or BNPL services allow users to pay for purchases over time with no interest. A rise in consumers using BNPL services has raised concerns that they are spending more than what they can repay. Toyota Motors will recall more than 1 million vehicles worldwide. This is over an issue with their airbags. The recall covers vehicle production between 2020 and 2022. It covers models like the Avalon, Camry and Corolla. Meanwhile, Toyota has said that its Daihatsu unit will hold shipments of all its vehicles. Daihatsu is a subsidiary of Toyota that produces small cars and trucks. It manages production only in emerging markets. The move comes after an investigation found issues involving 64 models at the unit. In April, an independent panel said Daihatsu had rigged safety tests for nearly 90,000 cars. Uber Technologies will raise the minimum wage it pays drivers in France. Drivers will earn a minimum income of $9.9 per trip. This is up from the $8.4 per trip that they were earning previously. The changes will be implemented from February next year. It comes as part of a wider agreement between ride-hailing companies and drivers in France. Shares of transport company FedEx sank 12% yesterday. This was following the company's dismal quarterly results and outlook. FedEx is seen as a bellwether for worldwide economic trade. The overall market initially shook off the news, but stock prices fell late in the day, pushing down the S&P 500 index. A Russian court has imposed a fine of more than $50 million on Google. This is for failing to delete what Russia called fake information. Russia has accused Google of failing to remove quote-unquote extremist content and distributing what it calls LGBT propaganda. Russia has been at loggerheads with foreign technology companies over content and censorship. Tensions are heating up for ChatGPT maker OpenAI. A group of 11 non-fiction authors have joined a lawsuit against OpenAI and Microsoft. This includes Pulitzer Prize winners Taylor Branch, Stacy Schiff, and Kai Bird, who co-wrote the J. Robert Oppenheimer biography American Prometheus. They've all accused the companies of misusing their books for training the model behind the famous chatbot ChatGPT. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav reportedly met with Paramount Global CEO Bob Bakish. This is to discuss a potential buyout deal between the two companies. However, it is unclear whether Warner Bros. Would buy Paramount Global or its parent company, National Amusements. Moving to sports, let's start with cricket. New Zealand beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in yesterday's ODI match. Hosts Bangladesh scored 291 runs with Soumya Sarkar smashing 169 runs. New Zealand chased down the target in the 46th over. Henry Nicholls and Will Young scored half-centuries for the Black Caps. New Zealand have clinched the 3-match ODI series 2-0. Pakistan pacer Khurram Shahzad has been ruled out of the Test series against Australia. Shahzad has suffered a rib stress fracture and an abdominal muscle tear. He will now be returning home to Pakistan. According to Pakistan's head coach, Sajid Khan will replace Shahzad for the remaining 2 Test matches. In football, Liverpool hammered West Ham United 5-1 in the League Cup quarter-final. Liverpool had a lead by 1 goal going into half-time. In the second half, Liverpool upped their attack and scored 4 goals. West Ham came back with just 1 consolation in the 77th minute. Liverpool will now face Fulham in the EFL Cup semi-final in January next year. In La Liga, Barcelona edged past Almeria 3-2 in yesterday's match. Rafinha scored in the 33rd minute to give Barca the lead. 8 minutes later, Almeria equalized on a goal from Leo Baptistao. The second half In the second half, Sergi Roberto scored a double for Barcelona, making it 3-1. Almeria attempted a comeback with a goal from Edgar Gonzalez, but fell short of a draw. In the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich beat Wolfsburg 2-1 in yesterday's match. It was a closely fought match, with all goals coming in the first half. Maximilian Arnold scored the only goal for Wolfsburg. Jamal Musiala and Harry Kane scored for Bayern to clinch the win. In the Liga, Paris Saint-Germain won 3-1 over Metz last night. The game was scoreless in the first half. In the second half, both PSG and Metz scored a goal each to tie the scores 1-1. It was striker Kylian Mbappe's double that secured the win for PSG. The Brazil football team's doctor has given an update on striker Neymar. The doctor says that Neymar will be unfit for the Copa America in July next year. After a successful knee surgery, Neymar is still in recovery. The doctor says that the recovery is taking longer than expected. Neymar is likely to be away from the field till at least August 2024. In hockey, the Indian men's team defeated France 5-4 in a thriller last night. The match was part of the Five Nations tournament. India and France went back and forth with goals from each side up till the final whistle. This was India's solitary win in the 4 matches they've played in the tournament. The Indian Sports Ministry has confirmed the nominations for the annual awards. Men's badminton duo Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty will be conferred with the Khel Ratna. This year, Rankireddy and Shetty became the first Indian men's pair to secure world #1 rankings in badminton. The prestigious Khel Ratna is the highest sporting award in India. The ceremony will be held on the 9th of January in New Delhi. Meanwhile, Indian pacer Mohammad Shami will be conferred with the Arjuna Award. Shami was the leading wicket-taker in the ODI World Cup. Along with Shami, 25 other Indian athletes across various fields will be awarded. The Arjuna Award is India's second most prestigious sporting prize. In entertainment news now, Barbie creators Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach have tied the knot after dating for 12 years. The couple co-wrote the Barbie movie. Their representative confirmed the news by stating that they got married at New York City Hall. Actor Ryan Gosling reunited with Barbie's music album producer Mark Ronson to release Ken the EP, featuring 3 new versions of the original song I'm Just Ken. The 3 new songs include a holiday edition, an acoustic rendition, and a dance version. The duo also released a music video for the song I'm Just Ken, Merry Christmas Barbie. Rapper Travis Scott nearly fell off stage during a concert in New York. This happened after a head-shaped prop hit him while he was performing. An object almost pushed him off stage, but Scott managed a swift recovery and continued the performance seamlessly. Actor Tiffany Haddish has pleaded not guilty for charges of driving under the influence of alcohol. Haddish was arrested in California's Beverly Hills last month. Local police had discovered her asleep behind the wheel of the car, with the car on in the middle of the road. This led to her being charged with driving under the influence. Actor George Clooney claimed in an interview that Matthew Perry was not happy while filming Friends. He says it was due to his drug and alcohol addiction. Clooney stated that it was Perry's dream role, but he struggled because of his addiction. He revealed that even though they had worked together, he didn't know what Perry was going through. Actor Taraji P. Henson opened up on Hollywood's glaring pay disparity for women of color. In an interview, Henson teared up while discussing how her work is often underpaid, which led her to considering quitting the industry for good. Henson said she's tired of fighting for better pay and renegotiating salaries. Actor Jennifer Love Hewitt said that during her early 20s, she confronted a filmmaker on set who was pushing her to be sexier. Recalling the incident on a podcast, Hewitt said during the filming of Heartbreakers at the age of 23, she had to ask the director for guidance on his vague request to be sexier. She revealed that she didn't understand what being sexy meant at that age. Actor Penelope Cruz emphasizes that her upcoming film Ferrari goes beyond cars. During the promotions, she said that the movie delves into characters, family, and relationships, adding layers beyond automotive interests. The film follows the personal and professional struggles of Ferrari's founder Enzo Ferrari. Directed by Michael Mann, Ferrari is slated to release on the 25th of December. Big Bang Theory actor Kate Micucci announced on TikTok that she is now cancer-free. She revealed that she had undergone surgery to remove lung cancer last weekend. The actor spoke about the surgery's success with no need for additional treatment. She attributes her positive outcome to early detection. The documentary Supernova: The Music Festival Massacre has been acquired by global broadcasters. The film recounts the harrowing experiences of the survivors and first responders during the Hamas attack at a music festival on the 7th of October this year. The documentary is slated to premiere on Israeli television channel Kan on the 23rd of December. Broadcasters like BBC World Service, ZDF in Germany, DR in Denmark and VRT in Belgium have also picked it up. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.